Hey everyone, how you doing? So I wanted to do this for a while, and that's to make a video or set of videos going over certain aspects of TuA style. Um, we've had a lot of new players recently, and some old players coming back, and we've got a few teams going on. And being part of TuA, obviously, TuA style is historically, culturally part of that. So it is nice to have more people that understand it. It means that we can train together better. It means we can make teams together better, and it just brings us all together as a team. And no one's forced to play TUA style at all. But even if you don't want to play TUA style, this might help in some ways to analyze yourselves or your team or something, or make you think of things in a new way to to find improvements. So I think there is value to this, whether or not people directly want to copy it or not. But especially for players like me, Idri, Aldrin, Terra, Morph, Core, and a few others, especially the long-term TUA members, we've played this a lot, so it is important to us anyway. Um, okay, so going straight into this because obviously this isn't my first recording of this. No, it's not my second either. Um, I'm starting with a triangle. Now, obviously, TUA is well known for its triangle because we're so fucking badass. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, I like that. Oh, balling. I'm going to go for this. I didn't use this last time. So, the TUA triangle. Is this going to be too much? That may be a bit too much. Let me try a nice crayon. No, I am wasting fucking time here. We will just go straight with this. I just wish I could make it a little bit thicker. Anyway, anyway, anyway. So TOA triangle. There is good reason for this. Firstly, loads of teams use this, whether they know it or not. It's just such a natural thing to get into. Equal spacing. Sorry, there's a fire truck going past my house. Equal spacing. You can see everyone on your team quite easily. It's very easy to work together. So, and the police car going in the opposite direction. Okay, so I can work with these two very easily. They can work with me. So if I put up the enemy now, just to make it a little simpler. Oops. TUA triangle makes teamwork a bit easier. We can attack that. We can attack that. Blah 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 blah. If we do this in a bit of a different way, and TUA triangle is something like this, and the enemy is something like this, just as an example. Whether you're mixed in with the enemy or you're split up like this, it makes it easy to work together. Fuck that. On certain things. Oh, God, why do you hate me? On certain things. You're not getting each other's way. It makes a lot of sense. If this guy here falls back, these two can push forward. You're not getting in each other's way. You can see each other, see what you need to see. It's all very, very nice. Also, in terms of shape, it's very good for space. You're controlling this entire space in here, which is very, very nice. We try to keep our triangles quite compact so you can support each other. It's very easy to support each other on the ground or jumps. You are quite close to each other. If, for example, you're facing a staffer and that staffer wants to push into a player, being close and in a triangle like this makes it very, very difficult for them. So let's say that they're your areas of influence with your saber. It's much more difficult for a staff to get involved because every time they get involved, they are making themselves open to someone else. And obviously, in a really, really small room, that area is really compact and the staffer can't get in between you. It's very, very difficult. So especially in the compact room, your influence is combined almost like that. And it's very, very difficult. And it just makes the teamwork, the vision, the supporting of each other work very, very well. And it's very, very natural. Everyone has their own space. You keep organized very well. So that the triangle is important, but you'll see lots and lots of teams do it. The important thing to note is you won't keep the triangle. Something will happen. Someone will get attacked. Who's going to go first? He gets pushed to the side, and your triangle's messed up a little bit. Maybe he gets pushed really to the side, or maybe he gets pushed over here. You're going to get spread out, whatever. It's not a case of you hold the triangle forever. It's a case of you come back to the triangle when you can. So in football, your formation breaks up and stuff during attack or defense, and it's not the normal setup that you start with. But when the team gets a chance to reorganize themselves, they go back to their formation, they go back to their lines and their structures. And it's the same for us. You might get pushed around a lot, but you're continually getting pushed out of the triangle and then coming back into it. And it helps out an awful lot. Okay, that's just a side thing. And this video is all about the tactical side. It's not about the teamwork inside. But inevitably, teamwork's going to come up. And in the teamwork video, tactics will come up. They're so intertwined, they're so together that you can't talk about one without the other. But we are focusing on the tactical side. I'm trying to get you guys an understanding of what TuA tries to do. So, the first section is control. Control is going to be the biggest part of this. So if you're thinking I'm talking a lot about it, the rest of it is pretty short. And it's the thing that people struggle with the most. So often against teams, you want to start by getting control. And some opponents, you're going to get control immediately. If you're much stronger than your opponent, you're going to get space. You're going to be in a position where you can attack them immediately and put pressure on. But often against teams, you're not going to be able to do that. There's going to be things to focus on. And obviously support players focus on this more than others, but it's a team thing to do. Now, obviously, with a triangle, it helps. And obviously, the first thing about control is you want some center control. You're not going to get complete 100% center control. Your opponents are going to fight for the center as well, but you want center influence. You want as much center control as possible. And if you have more than your opponent, then it makes things a lot easier for you. If you're going up against a much weaker team, you might get full center control, and then you can really start bullying your opponent. But when I start talking about the center, I don't mean what I described, what I showed there. What I actually mean is on a map like this, it would be something like this. That's the center. And obviously you can't control the entire thing. That's not what I'm suggesting. But you want to be in and controlling as much of this center point as possible. And this outside part is what I will call the sides. Your your corners, your walls, your holes. Obviously, there's balcony here, but let's pretend balcony doesn't exist. You don't want to be here. You want your enemy to be here. That's how TuA style works. And you want to be as much in this area as possible. Now, just like the triangle, you ain't going to stick in this area. It isn't going to happen. You're going to get pushed or have reasons to go to the outside all the time. But the point is that you try and come back to the center as quickly as possible. So the reason for the center is the most influential. You're together more. If as I say, if you guys are three in the center here, you're together, so you can play together. If you're not in the center and you're split up and you're on the outsides, you can be very, very split up. Can't support each other. You're going to get 2v1'd in a corner or something like that, and you're going to get in trouble. You're just going to have more influence. You're going to be closer to everything you need to be, and you're going to be pushing outwards, which is exactly how TuA style works. And it just makes it a lot easier. Because the reverse is, if I get rid of all of this, if you're on the outside, you don't have many options for defense, for attack. In this scenario, I'll put him to the side a little bit so he's not completely central here to attacking. If this is the scenario, and don't worry, pretend there's another 4 players, this is bad for blue. If orange attacks, blue doesn't have many options. He can't fall back. He can try and get this way a little bit, but it's assuming this is a wall here, which is what we're pretending. He hasn't got any space there. He hasn't really got any space there. His options are bad. And if he does come here or come here, he hasn't got many places to go. Yes, he can go into the hallway, but it's a wall situation. You're getting pushed out of the area. You're dead here. You haven't got many options. if we reverse it, and let's say you're here, and the enemy is here, and the enemy pushes you, you can go here, 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 here. You can go anywhere in this sort of circle. And when you get there, let's say you get pushed here, you still have options. Or if you get pushed here, you have options. You might be able to push forward back into the middle. So if you're central and you get pushed, you still have space to where you just got moved to. If you're on the outside and you get pushed, you almost definitely have, you either have no space to begin with, or you're pushed into a position with no space. It's also worse for angles for attack. So if like this, if the enemy is in this sort of situation, and you guys are like this, it's harder to push out in this sort of situation because the enemy is so much more easily pushing in. How to explain? They've got more space to work with to back off and then to push in again. And it's harder to get them completely, all three of them, pushed back. Because you guys have got, in the blue team, you've got no space to go into. If you get pushed back at all, your options of pushing back forward are pretty bad. So you are getting more stuck. The more you push into a corner, the harder it is to get out a lot of the time. So number one rule for control, which is what this topic's about, is keep away from these outside areas. Keep away from corners. On Free-for-all 3, there's so many people like to go into that goddamn corner in main. Keep out of the corner. Keep out of these corners. Keep out of the sides. Balcony, people love going to balcony. Let's pretend balcony just reappeared. This is hard. This is where you're going to get stuck. Having one person in balcony is fine. Don't have more than one person. And you kind of want to be coming out of it where possible. So try and keep out of the sides. Number 2, how to find space and get more center control. Move early. So, 2 scenarios I'm going to put to you. You've just jumped and you're landing here. It's space. It's safety. It's just somewhere that's nice that you can not be attacked when you land. Immediately push out. The second you land, if there's space, you push out. You don't want to just stay there and wait for your opponent, because all you're doing is giving your opponent time to push into you to make use of the fact that you're in there. So a lot of players in TuA and not in TuA will just stand there and just get too scared to act or just hesitate. Here's a rule for you. Hesitation will get you killed. You need to take risks to get control, to get space for your team. It's not just about you, it's about your entire team. So don't hesitate. And if you're doing risky stuff for the team, like finding space and trying to get control, and you're losing, continue doing it, because that's how you're going to get back into the game. If you start hesitating and not taking those risks, you're only 100% losing at that point, and you're not doing anything good for your team. So, number 1, move away from the sides. Number 2, move forward. The second example of moving forward is if you come back from spawn, for example. You see players like that, and let's see there's an enemy here. Often, I see this player just hesitate. And all you're doing is giving your opponent time to push in. And that means that you're getting stuck in this area, which is what they want, and you're getting restricted and you're on the sides. So, the first easy way of dealing with getting pushed to the sides, get out as soon as you can. Don't just stay there. Do not hesitate. The second thing to do, and this is help control, and this helps in a lot of ways, is act early. So if you've been you've just come from spawn, you've died and you've come back, and the enemy is here, and the enemy pushes forward, heckin' attack. Jump attack that guy immediately. Yes, what I said before is true, that you move forward to fight, to get out of the side. But that's not always possible. You're going to go up against some really, really aggressive players that is going to get on top of you as soon as possible. You need to take the initiative of jumping this guy when he gets close. Because sometimes it's going to be like this. As soon as you come in, it's going to be like this. And your opponent is going to make you hesitate, and he's going to pressure you, and he wants you in that area. Jump him immediately. Jump. or ground red, whatever. Because what's going to happen is you're going to force the guy to move to the side a bit, and then you can move out, this sort of thing. And that's going to get you in the center immediately. It's going to stop your enemy from pushing forward and being aggressive, and it's going to give you a bit of space and slow down your enemy in general. And it gives your teammates something to play with as well. If you jump attack this guy, one color, this guy, then your teammate might be somewhere over here and he attacks him as well. If you hesitate and you do nothing, you will get stuck in corners. You will not get out. You will create problems. The other side of it is, in an attacking sense, for your team, I'm going to go over both moving forward and early action. Because I was showing you as an individual. I'm going to show you as a team now what happens. It doesn't matter the formation. All this means is this guy's an attacker, this guy's an attacker, and this guy's an attacker. And these three are all support. Doesn't matter. Everything's very, very flexible. You can't go too crazy on this. So in this scenario, this guy here, the central attacker, his responsibility is to attack first and attack early. He wants to start off the move. So if he doesn't attack and he hesitates, which is why it's important to have an attacker, suddenly these guys push forward and they're taking the attack they start attacking this guy. Maybe something like this happens. This guy attacks this guy and this guy pushes forward and this guy comes here. What's going to happen is this guy falls back and you're going to lose space. At the moment, that's kind of the line of where the fight's going to be. That's the equal point. But if they take the early initiative and you get pushed back and you hesitate, then that line's going to turn here and you're going to start getting pushed back into the corner. You see this all the time in players that aren't confident. If they're at the front and they don't want to be and they're scared of it, the enemy attacks first and all three get pushed back. Because to a certain degree, this player here and this player here are waiting for their attacking player to make the first move. If he attacks, I attack. If he attacks, I attack. That is how it works. So don't hesitate. Don't be scared. You've got to make that first move. And it doesn't have to be great. It doesn't have to be you're going to kill them. You just have to make them move in a way that's not attacking. So if you attack this guy and you simply stop him and all he does is move back to here, you've done your job. That means this guy can push forward and this guy can focus on this guy and it makes it more difficult. Yes, this guy might attack here to attack this guy, 100%. But you, as a team, you haven't been pushed back and you're still here. And it's about both teams trying to push back the other. There's little bits. I attack you, somebody attacks me, my teammate attacks them, blah, 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 blah. And teams will get pushed back a bit and teams will get pushed forward a little bit. And the better team will probably push forward more than the enemy. But if you do nothing, you have no chance of winning that. If you do nothing and you're too scared and hesitant to attack first, then you will just let your opponents have all the advantage. And you don't want that. So don't be scared of attacking first. Even if you fuck up and you lose, it is the best way you're going to learn. The other thing is not attacking first, but moving first as a team. If you're here, here, and here, and the enemy is here, here, and here, and they start moving forward, and you don't. Normally, if everyone moves forward, whoopsie-daisy, the attacking place would be somewhere in the middle. But if you don't move forward, then your attacking place is going to be here, and you're going to find yourself in this sort of situation. Especially if they're aggressive, these two wider players are going to push up closer. And you're going to find you've got no space. One push, and you're in the corners. You're in the worst sort of position. So you want to act first. And for a final example, because situations are different all the time. You're something more like this. Fuck it, over here, and it's a real mix-up. You're all completely in each other's, overlapping, whatever. If you hesitate and you're not the first one to act, this guy pushes this way, this guy pushes this way. And obviously, this guy comes in to help, and this guy might come in to help, and then this guy gets a lot of freedom, and it becomes a mess in this corner, and you guys are getting pushed more than they are. You got to think that, right, in this situation, we need space. We need to act first as much as possible. Something like this guy pushing this guy away, and this guy pushing this guy away, and this guy coming centrally means that you're spreading out the enemy. You're pushing them to the sides, and you're blocking off their third player from helping. That is great. That is top level stuff. That is brilliant. And if you consider it, if you were the orange team, you don't want to be put into that position. So you can't just wait for the enemy to attack. Normally, what's going to happen is you're going to push this guy. Maybe this guy pushes this guy, and you two have a. You two have a battle here, and it balances out a little bit. That's fine. That's a standard sort of thing. One team is always going to be better than the other. One team's always going to be able to push your opposition team around more. But if you don't try it, if you don't act first, you don't push in first, you don't get into the center, then you are just giving them an easy ride. You're giving them the advantage for free, and you're never trying to fight back. You have to, even against staffers, that it's difficult. You cannot make it easy on them. So that's the first section. The next one is going to be for backstabs and creating space. A little bit harder to explain. I apologize. Let's do that. But we're going to have a guy here. We're going to have a guy here and a guy here. So in this sort of situation, let's say that this orange is a staffer, and they create a lot of pressure, and your teammate is about to be pushed back into this horrible situation. Now, there are lots of ways that you can deal with this, but you have to act. Staffers and certain pressure players are really, really good. And this section, as I say, is about control. So before you start thinking about attacking and stuff like that, especially against the staffers, you have to get control of the situation. You have to make it difficult for them to get the 1v1 fights they want, where they can just focus in on one player and fuck them. You have to make it difficult. Now, this guy here, struggling. He's going to get pushed back. So either this player or this player has to act. And there's lots of ways you can do this. So if this player falls back, this player can come in forward. This guy makes space by coming back and opening up the angle for this player to move forward. That's one way of doing it. This guy can come in to attack here, and this guy here tries to slow down the staffer. Great. That works out well. Backstabbing and support is a team process. It is not an individual one. It is not about this guy or this guy saving the day. It is about everyone doing their job. If this guy falls back, this guy pushes in, then I promise you this guy's coming to backstab him. And if this guy comes to backstab him, then either, this guy needs to come in to help, or this guy who's pushed back needs to come in to help. And it needs to be everyone keeps attacking to help each other out. Let's put another situation in. I come in to backstab him, and he comes in to backstab me. A reasonable thing is for this guy to attack this guy immediately, and this guy to come around here to attack to help the guy that's coming in to backstab. You cannot just leave your teammate. You cannot. Your job isn't done once your teammates backstabbed your opponent. If somebody's attacking my opponent, let's say I'm fighting Sai, and somebody backstabs him, my immediate thought is, who's backstabbing him? My job now is to protect the person that's trying to protect me. So if this guy comes in, if I'm this player, I'm immediately looking who's attacking my teammate. I'm ignoring this player as much as I can and letting my teammate deal with that. And I'm seeing who's covered and who's not. Okay, this player covers this. I need to cover this guy as much as possible and do my best, even if it's risky for me, because it's my responsibility. because this player here is relying on me, and he won't trust me in future if I don't try and help him. So backstabs are important. They're a team thing, and it's going to take off the pressure. And it doesn't take much. So if we move this around a little bit, and let's say there's a guy here instead, and I come to backstab this guy, it takes a ton of pressure off of this guy. It really does. Because the moment I backstab here, this player has to bank off, and this player can now focus on this player who's also a big threat. He can come into the middle if he wants. He can move around. If this player moves this way, then this guy, instead of focusing here or going to the middle, can continue the attack and push this way. But if you don't do anything, if this backstab doesn't happen, and this attack is happening, it's very difficult for this player to make a decision. His options are less, because he's having to worry about this player and this player. He could come to the middle, he could get pushed back, but it's very difficult to make that decision. So if I backstab him instead, I'm giving this guy something to think about, an answer to the problem. And yes, this guy could be backstabbing me. If I come here, but then immediately this guy could deal with this guy while I deal with this guy, or then this guy can deal with this guy, or this guy can try and deal with this guy, and I deal with him as he deals with him. You got to keep switching. The triangle is important. It's not something you keep still in one place. It's continually moving. We will come back to the triangle after being pushed out of the triangle. You've got to do it as a team, and there will be examples. And there are also other things for backstabbing that are important. My teammate is here. I'm here. The enemy is here. He's stuck. Give your teammate a way out of this problem. Backstab him, and yes, he'll watch to see if you're being backstabbed, but he'll also try and move out of the situation into space. If your teammate has no space and he's under pressure and he hasn't got something he can move into, give him something to move into. Help him out of the situation. We've all been in a situation where we're fighting a staffer, and it's a really dangerous staffer, and we have to focus on him so much. If somebody pushes him, even if you just push him a meter to the side, you slow him down, you make him curve. I'm out into space. Whoops. I'm out into space, and my teammate can push off, and I can make sure that he's safe. We'll see this in examples later. It's really, really important. We backstab to take pressure off teammates, and we all support each other, and we try to make space for each other. We try to do pressures and attacks and repositions so that teammates can find space. If my teammate is here and I'm here and our teammate is here, I will move so that he can come here. So that there's like everyone does their little bit of movement to find space. It's important. Got to keep moving, got to keep repositioning. This is why it frustrates us sometimes if a player is like here attacking this player, and for example, I'll use Idri as an example, is here. If this player is just swinging 3 times, Idri cannot jump in because he's in the way, and it's a pain. And that means that this player, which I'm calling Idri, stops. He's waiting to attack, and he stops, and it means he's open to a backstab for everyone else. Keep everything moving. This player move this way and pressure this way, which gives space to this guy to come in this way. And then once you've done a bit of attacking and the chance is gone, you back off into space and remake your triangle. You do not want to keep. You don't want to be in the middle, blocking everybody off in like a really, really bad way. You want to try and move to the side. Keep everything moving, because that's what creates space, takes off pressure, and keeps things moving. There will be examples. Anyway, that's the space sort of control, the center sort of. On top of that, the next part of it, that's the control part. The next part is pressure. So you may come into a game where you're in full control immediately, and you can immediately start thinking of pressuring the enemy and breaking them down. Great. But always make sure you get control first and help your teammates out, and then start pushing into pressure. And they go back and forth. we do a couple of moves of pressure and then we do a couple of moves of control, and it's back and forth. Some games are easier than others. So with pressure, what I mean is you push your opponent or you show attacking intent. And basically what you're doing is you're forcing your enemy to react to something. You're forcing them to do something. And that's what we mean by pressure. Obviously, you can do pressure to help get control of things, to get control of the center and to like help people and to make space. But in this section, we're simply talking about an attacking pressure. Right, so examples. And this will be much shorter than the last one. We'll go for the beautiful triangles of death. If this player pushes him, and he falls back, while he's falling back, that's an opportunity for me. And this can happen in many ways. You can ground him, you can jump, you can overlap things. But the important thing is you know which side you're attacking and you're leaving it open for this guy to get on something. Not every attack you do is going to be something that somebody can... not every pressure you do, is not something that someone can attack the reaction of. And it's not always as simple as just, I push someone and that's the reaction. I attack you. He comes in for the backstab. That's the reaction. He attacks the reaction. It's not just as simple as I just attack whatever you're attacking. Yes, this guy can move this way and this guy can attack that, but you're also making a reaction for this guy to latch onto. Once this player here moves this way to try and support his teammate, that is an opening. And you keep moving like this, and you keep... you're forcing the enemy to react to things. You want to force the enemy to do stuff. You want to force them to create an opening for someone. Either directly, I push someone into a teammate, or I push someone and my teammate latches onto it, or I attack someone else attacks me, and that's an opening for someone. Because if you start forcing the enemy to extend for a backstab or support, or you force them to support too much and focus on backstabs, you are creating openings for someone else to get them while they're doing that. You know, it becomes obvious and it becomes forced, and that's when openings happen. So, and just to give the other example, obviously, no, actually, the way around. If I attack this guy, well, firstly, this guy would usually push up in this situation, but you can get nice. Actually, I will redraw that a little bit. Let's get him here, because if you're attacking, then they're usually a little bit more pushed up rather than at the back defensive. Blah 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 blah. It works in the same way. You're just making angles. Maybe this guy pushes up into that space, which opens up angles like this, and you start pushing things. Or if I push into the center, which is, as I said before, showing attacking intent. I don't need to attack to put pressure on. It might force this guy to jump in, which then makes an opening for this guy to attack it. And it starts the process. You want to force a reaction out of the enemy rather than letting them do what they want. That's how pressure works. That's how we start doing things. And attacking pressure isn't getting damage in. Howley is a very good pressure player as a staffer. He's not a massive fragger. It's not about that. But he might create loads of opportunities for his teammates. He might push around the opponents away from the middle. He's a big pressure. Gets his opponents out to the corners and back and stuff like that, and allowing you to push in. There's a lot of advantages to pressure, but it's how we break down the enemy. It's how we create opportunities. It's that simple. But they're the two parts of it. You get control of things, which is the one I focus on the most, because I think it's the one that people struggle with the most. And then pressure is easier. It's more instinctive. But as long as you keep the shape and you know of where your teammates are and stuff like that, you can work together quite well on attacks. Don't over focus on someone. Don't start swinging 3 times. Got to keep it moving. Blah 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 blah. And that's kind of the main focus. The last part of this talking part, and I think I'm getting this shorter than the other one. No, I have not. Here is team setups. So I know I've taught a lot about how to do these things, but I don't want to give the wrong impression of how you need to build your team. There are many ways of playing this. You can be a jumpy team if you want, or you can be a ground focused team if you want, or you can be aggro, you can be defensive, super mobile. You can focus on staff or singlers. It really doesn't matter. You can use any combination of things you want or duels. But there are certain things in TuA style you must have, and this is one of the big differences between us and a lot of other teams. You must have at least one ground player because you will lose ground control if you don't. You will lose that center control. Team Ukraine doesn't have a ground player and they got bullied by staffers. That's what happens. You need mobility. If you have only ground players and they're all slow and whatever, you're going to get up against a team like Ukraine and they're going to be too fast and mobile for you. And you're never going to catch them and you're just going to get picked off. You need an attacker because if you don't have an attacker and you need to start pushing back, then you're going to be fucked. You need a support player, like a proper dedicated support player, a player that knows how to position, backstabs, knows how to find and make space continually. And you need a damage dealer. As I say, an attacker isn't a damage dealer. He is someone that creates opportunities and pushes back the enemy for space. You need all of these things. Obviously, a ground player can be an attacker, and a support player can be mobility, and an attacker can be damage, whatever. You combine these things. For us, core is both an attacker and our main damage dealer. I'm the most support player, but also pretty mobile. And Idri is a balance of the things to try and do a bit. He does attack and support really nicely, ground and jumps. So you need to have a bit of everything. You can be focused on the ground. You can be focused on jumps. You need one of the opposites to balance you out. You cannot be too unbalanced. Right. Okay. With that, okie dokie. I've closed my video from before. Just give me 2 seconds. Hits on a horse. Let's go to playlists. Go to the cup. No. I want to visit the playlist, not edit it. Fuck that. I don't know if you can hear that on the video. All that. Fuck my voice. I hate listening to it. Here we go. So we're going to do a few minutes. I'm going to go to 1 minute 45. Boop. Because I've done this already twice. This is at least the third, maybe the fourth time. Anyway, here's a bit of me, Idri, and Core playing in the cup. We play against BM. We're playing against 2 staffers, and that's difficult. And this is one of the smallest maps, and so this is how you get control of the situation. You deal with the pressure. You make sure you're controlling space, and there's going to be moments where we're able to pressure the enemy to break them down. We are 2-0 down. It's a bit of a mess at the beginning, with as it sometimes is. You got to take those risks, and you got to be happy to go down. Me and Core have died. I've just got back. Idri's been alive this whole time. Let me just turn off the sound. And Idri's over there. Blah 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 blah. I meet the staffer, and Idri uses it as a way to get out. We are 3 together again. Bang! Immediately. There's no hesitation here. The moment we landed, myself and Core push forward, and I promise you, Idri is working his way in to get in behind us for support reasons. To make that triangle, Core is slightly ahead of me, so he immediately attacks because that's his responsibility. These blues didn't get to attack first, we attack first. I jump in to support, like one of those many angles that I've shown before, and it led to us killing Timmy there. Something you didn't notice. It's very difficult to notice that I didn't notice, but I know it's there, and that is Idri. So what happens there is Core jumps in, I jump in. Who stood behind us swinging? Idri. Why? Because when you jump in, you are the most open when you jump away, and Idri's pushing in as if to say to the enemy, if you push forward, I push forward, and I will stop you from killing Core and Hellraiser. And you notice the staffer here on the left went out wide. He didn't push into the middle. And the singler there at the back is for the blues is not doing much of anything. So Core's falling backwards. Idri's falling backwards now because it's when you jump in and jump out, it's a bit of a mess. So I immediately know, right, I've got to push forward. Push forward, meet this guy, jump him. Idri's keeping his eye open. We've got a triangle. Cora's behind. Idri's there. I'm landing here. Bang, what's the first thing we do? We all push forward, all three of us. You don't have to attack. I just ran forward. Cor immediately makes the first. He's our attacker. He's most likely to make the first attack. He's forced this staffer to jump away. This is a good example of pressure. I've attacked that pressure. I have done nothing with it. Turn around and we've spread out the blues. So as I said before, it is good to keep together. You're closer to support each other. You're closer to help each other and cover space. I helped Cor push that staffer away. That staffer is too far away to help this singler. And so we all turn around and was like, oh, this fucking singler. Idri, however, didn't realize the singler was so far behind him. They're so close to him, sorry. So he unfortunately goes after the staffer, thinking that me and Cole would deal with the singler, but we couldn't deal with it. Anyway, he gets hurt a little bit, and we push the singler away. I noticed, if you didn't see the guy that died before, Timmy is back, and I'm trying to wait for him. Whatever. They're all back. We're all back. And now what you're going to see is us creating the triangle, getting mid control, and continually repositioning and dealing with the pressures and helping each other. So Idri sees the staffer here and he comes in to fight him. It's a bit of a mess. It doesn't quite work out right. Fighting two staffers is a lot of pressure and you're going to get into messes. I see this player is not watched. I deal with this pressure. Didn't try and hit him. I just stopped him. And then attack him again and he walks past me. Idri dies in this moment because he was really low HP and yeah, we're just getting into these things. So me and Cor are going to support each other. Blah, blah, blah. He's being focused here. This would be usually an example of me pushing forward to support him, but I'm looking at this thinking, no, he can get out now. So I just need to make sure that I support him as he gets away, which is what I'm doing here. Not a good job of it, but that's the idea. I attack Timmy just to make sure that Cor isn't being attacked. Blah, 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 blah. I'm in the middle. I'm constantly in this middle area because that's where my teammates want to get to. Idri is here now. We're in a triangle. You can't see, but that shadow here is Cor. I'm trying to support Cor. I'm in the middle. You might not have seen it there, but I push him. He pushes him as he lands. This guy's coming over. Me and Idri are turning around. We've got this middle control. We want these guys over and there. Cor is to my left. We're in that triangle. It's the triangle versus the triangle. Head on. He just jumps in and we deal with him. It's our compactness that we're close together. That means that as soon as he lands, we're all able to basically attack him. I didn't do such a good job. Cor is in this corner. I got to help. Cor is no longer in this corner. I need help to get out. Idri's coming to help me get out. Ooh! Tits on a horse. Yep. Good. I went back. Oh, that's gone back way too far. Fuck! Did I absolutely bish that up? Let's get into where it was. I think we've gone past it. We have definitely gone past it. Let's go back a little bit. I do apologise for this lack of professionalism, lack of just quality. Yes, so here I am in the middle. Da, 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 da. He jumps in, that's right. Yes, we're here. Cor's in there. I go and help Cor. Cor gets out. I need a little bit of help. I want to get out. Idri is helping me get out from me helping Cor get out. Cor is landed. He's helping Idri get out from me helping Cor get out and Idri helping me get out. I go to make sure that we get mid control, center control, and this staffer here does not push in and take it, giving my teammates some space. I'm watching here. Cor has pushed this staffer out into the corner. Idri is dealing with this singler here. I turn around to deal with this one. He's pressured me into a bit of a bad spot. Cor is immediately helping me. I don't know how I didn't hit him there. And I am immediately turning around and getting back into that middle. My teammates are in the corner. I push one guy a bit, move back a bit to give them space, something to attack to. Bang. I move back into that middle. I don't want to fight that staffer in the corner. That doesn't make sense. And I'm in the center. And these staffers are jumping around like they don't know what to do. They're not getting any of the fights they want. Fuck knows how he blocks everything. Don't know how he blocked everything there, because I knew that was coming. We've got the center control. We've got a triangle here. You can't see it, but Cora is here, Idri's behind, and I'm attacking this guy. This is an opportunity for pressure. You can see the shadow here. There's a staffer in the air. We get a 2-1 situation. I jump attack, it isn't very good, and Cora tries to deal with the staffer because there wasn't an opportunity. Get the kill. We're back to... Idri died at the same time, but we're making it difficult on them. And against 2 staffers, against 3 singlers, and then not really pressuring us. We're never getting in that corner and being in trouble. Bang. We reset into our triangle. Core does a bit of crouching to chill us out. We ignore this little shitty jump. What's going to happen? We're going to push in. Core's going to attack. I'm going to push forward here. He comes into the middle. We've got our triangle here going. And it's them that he got pushed. He didn't know what to do. He got so pushed to the side. We were able to isolate that singular for a little bit. It doesn't matter that we didn't get any damage. We're in control. I help him out, get out of that corner. Core came over to help me. We're okay. I get into the middle again. Blah, blah, blah. I see that Core needs a little bit of help there. And we're just pushing him away from the center all the time. And we're not in trouble. We're just supporting each other. Because this is a small space. You have to keep moving. You have to keep your eyes open. I got into the side a little bit there. I wanted to push out into the middle, and I got there. Did some damage to him. Trying to help my teammate who's stuck in the center. And my teammate, as you couldn't see there, but you're just about to see there. Here, he's getting out there because I tried to help him and he saw. And now we're in the center again. All 3 of us got pushed out of the center and we all went straight back into it because we know we have to keep that center. I did a jump attack on that staffer, which led Idri to have an opportunity to go away and do something else. We win this round. We make it so difficult for them and their staffers to be effective that one of their staffers came out with 5-9. Yes, Timmy did well. He's their star player, but we kept control of this. We really made it difficult for them. And it's an example of we don't hesitate. We try to make the first move. We try to get out of the corners where possible. We try to help teammates get out of the corners as possible. We try to get central where there's opportunities to make pressure. We do pressure to create openings for each other. We backstab. We make sure we're making the early move. Because the moment you hesitate, the moment we would stop, that would mean they get to attack us, they get to pressure us, we get into corners, and they get so much space and we get none. And we will lose. So, there's your example. A little bit longer than last time I made it. Fuck me. Peace out.